What is good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video we're back with the Giant Escape, which is my kind of town commuter bike, and as promised this video is going to be about trimming these handlebars down. Now these handlebars, which I've mentioned in my last video, are extremely wide, and I'll do a measurement in a minute, but you can pretty much see here that they're too wide basically, and all the reasons I've explained for that are in my previous video, which I'll link to in the top right hand corner if you wanted to check that out. So I've only got a junior hacksaw for this. I did actually have a pipe cutter, which I think could have worked quite nicely. So I'm gonna have to use a junior hacksaw, unfortunately, but I've got my tape measure. We're gonna take the grips off, which is probably gonna be the most annoying part. I've got to get these broken bar ends out as well. So I think that should hopefully just be a screwdriver job. I can kind of sort these out as well a little bit. Maybe I need replacement ones actually. And yeah, then we can have some fun trying to get these grips off, and then we can get to trimming the bars. So I'm going to set you up on a tripod while I do this, and I kind of talk through the process, and I'll just do a quick measurement first of these bars. So I'm not quite sure the proper way to measure these if they've got a little bit of a curve in them, but going from one end to the other, looking at nearly 70 centimeters across. So yeah, to me, they're just way wider than they need to be, and I'm just wondering if that's why they come like that out of the factory, just so you can trim them down. I know BMX bars come like that, they come purposely wide, and then you can trim them down to whatever length you want. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, let's get started with the fun. Okay, first step is to try and get this out. Now I think an Allen key could do the job on this because it's kind of wedged in a little bit, obviously from the bike just being thrown on the floor a little bit. This was already like this when I got the bike, so probably will need some new bar ends at some point, but these ones have got to come out for now, so let's give this a go. And the problem with this really is that a lot of the end is already missing, so I haven't really got anything to grip onto. It's just kind of falling apart. It's probably a better way of doing this, but I'm not sure what it is, and I don't really have the tools. And yeah, the whole end is just now broken off, and hopefully I can get to this inside, but I need some thinner pliers. These mole grips aren't going to work. Now this has actually got stuck right inside, and I can't really get anything in there. I need some thin nosed pliers, which I don't actually have, but worst case scenario, I don't actually need to get rid of that right now. I can just take the grip off, and then I can sort that out another time. Well, I'll have a go with a couple more tools and see what I can do. The plastic inside, it keeps perishing when I'm gripping onto it. And that's now further inside the bar. Well, to be honest, because I'm trimming it, that might be okay. So what I'm going to do now is just try and get the grip off, and then hopefully when I trim the bar, that'll be really easy to get out. So yeah, this should be fun as well. I'm going to just try and roll this back and get some WD-40 on it. I know that I've heard hairspray can work as well, but I'm just going to WD-40 it and then I can wipe it off later. So let's get some of this in there and we'll see if it does the job. Yep, that's definitely working. Oh, that's really easy to get off. Okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, so at least something's going well. I am actually going to have to move all this as well at some point probably, because if the bar is shorter, the grip's going to be overlapping obviously, so these are going to have to be moved. But that's a really simple job, it's just Allen keys, so I'll probably just loosen that one off now. I think it looks like it's a 4. Oh, that's too big. A 3, there we go. So let's loosen this off. Lefty loosey. There we go, nice and easy. And we can move that back. Not sure where that's exactly going to go yet, but I can just move that out of the way for now. And now I need to decide how much I'm going to take off each side. So I don't want to go too crazy, as I mentioned, because it could ruin it potentially, but I want to make it worthwhile. I don't want to have to do another cut. So I'm thinking about taking 5 centimeters off. Maybe I'll go for 4. Yeah, 4 sounds like a good idea because 5 just looks a little bit excessive. So let's measure out 5. Sorry, let's measure out 4. And I'll just do a mark with the hacksaw. And yeah, I've made a little mark around here. You probably won't be able to see it, but that's pretty much bob on. You know, a couple of mil here and there or 1 mil is not going to make any difference. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through this. I'll probably time lapse it because I don't know how long it's going to take with this little junior hacksaw. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. The good thing with this cut here as well, I'm sure you can probably see it now, you can just see it in the frame, is the bar end I think is almost certainly going to be inside this bit. So when I cut this off, the bar end should just be inside there, so that's that problem solved as well. The only thing I wish I did have is a file just so I could file the end off, but I might be able to just use a little bit of sandpaper. We'll have a go with that and see if that does the job. And like I've mentioned, I know these tools aren't ideal. This would have been a lot easier with just a normal hacksaw, but this is all I have. Okay, that is that end done. As you can see, it's not the best. There's a bit of a lip there, but hacksaw was definitely not the right tool for this job. It was taking ages. And then I remembered I had an electric jigsaw, but be extremely careful if you're thinking of doing that at home. It wasn't very kosher. It felt very, very sketchy doing it with the jigsaw, but it whizzed through it straight away and made it light work of it. So that's that side done. I'm going to probably sand that down a little bit and then we can put the grip back on and see what it feels like. Obviously there's the other side to do. I'll do that off camera, there's no need to show you guys that. But yeah, junior hacksaw, definitely not the right tool for this kind of work. A hacksaw at the least, and the electric jigsaw did a great job. Just be very careful if you're using one of those. Okay, just sanded that back a bit with a bit of wet and dry, and I'm absolutely amazed at how smooth that's left that finish in with quite a little amount of effort. So there is still that little step there, you can just see it above my thumb. Not perfect, but that's going to be covered by the bar end anyway, so I'm not too fussed about that. So let's get the grip back on. Okay, that's the grip back on. I've just had a feel of that, and to be honest, it is a little bit more extreme than I was expecting. I think maybe even just 2 centimeters, even half that, could have made a big enough difference and still felt a lot thinner, but that's the way it is. I'm going to do the other side now off camera, and then I'll show you the finished result. And if you can see just here, it's very hard to focus. There we go, you might be able to see there. It says width 680. I think that will be the width of the bars. Measured them before and they were 70. So that makes sense that they're 618 mil. Same thing happened with this plug, it just snapped, so I'm just going to whiz the end off and it'll be inside the end, so no problems there. There we go guys, there's the difference. 4 centimeters each side. You can see the cuts aren't exactly bang on. They're close enough. They're not very straight. Could definitely have done with doing it in a vise or something like that, but for a DIY job, bit of a sketchy job, we're all good. You can see both the bar ends are just stuck in there, so they'll be staying in there. But yeah, these bars are looking a lot narrower. Probably a little bit too narrow, I would say. It's just very, very slightly. I probably should have done 3 centimeters each side. But saying that, it's the first time I've hopped on and tried it, so you know, maybe it's just because I'm not used to it yet, and after a couple of rides on it, it'll probably feel nice. But yeah, all the reasons that I specified in my previous video, just getting through alleyways, locking the bike up, weaving between traffic when you need to. I'm hoping it's just going to feel a lot more natural and more comfortable now with these slightly narrow bars. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will get some bar ends for those, and I think the only thing left now is the black pedals. And yeah, those silver bits I'm going to do black as well, and I think this is finished as a project. It'll just be a great commuter / town bike for me. Okay, thanks again guys. I'll see you all in the next one.